Values. Whose values are those? What are values? Whose are they? All right. Good morning. It is just about a week after Grandma's marathon, and now it is time to give you my race recap of Grandma's Marathon 2025. It was a really tough and incredible day out there. I'm going to walk y'all through sort of the few days leading up to it, and then the day, recovery, next steps. All right, this is Isaac from Still Running, and I will still you later. This is Isaac from Still Running, and I will run into you still later. Damn. Hey y'all. I am back in Seattle visiting family and graduating from my master's degree. I'm very proud that I completed it. Very glad that it's over. Very grateful for the opportunity to learn about public health and put my education sort of into real world practice at my job over the last couple of years. But I'm here to do a sort of week of vlog and try to document the week leading up. So yesterday was Sunday. I did my long run. Ended up being about 12 miles. I had 14 scheduled, but 12 is what we had. Legs definitely, around mile 9, felt good and felt like they wanted to go fast. So I think that's a good sign. The tempo on Friday went well. Is cool out. It's like 55 degrees, much less humid than it has been on the East Coast. So I thought I would sort of feel a little bit better given those conditions. But it is. I think really the next day I felt quite poppy. So I think that's choosing to see the positive signs and give yourself confidence in the taper is, I think, that perspective piece is something that we do have control over. How you feel is sort of how you feel, but what sense you make of those sensations, what sense you make of, the thoughts and images, coming to you is totally your prerogative to do what you want with it. So I have chosen, I believe, to try to stay positive through the final week. I think, being around family, it's really fun, and also it's a lot more socializing than I do sort of in my day-to-day. So it'll be interesting to see how if I can
I think especially with me, because recently, tried to have better boundaries in terms of
on my mind
just
will I be able
what
to
she's telling me. So I think she's realized that
and I think that's really only something we can find out by doing it.
We have a particular relationship. And which I really appreciate,
And my goal is just to
but it's also damn, that's, can easily go the wrong way.
Take it to mile 10, 15, 16. I think it's such a tricky balance between activating the nervous system enough to sort of have the pop in your legs to, move as quickly as you need to, as efficiently as possible, while also, remaining relaxed enough that, there's no forcing, there's no pushing. But this is a backyard that I grew up in. It's beautiful. There's a fig tree I'm looking at right here to my left. Behind me is a really beautiful plum tree. It has sort of like golden, green plums. And yeah, I was able to take a bath yesterday after my long run, just try to bed in some heat adaptation. Coming back to Seattle, yeah, it's just not as hot as it is on the East Coast. So, yeah, the plan for Tuesday, tomorrow, is to do 4x1 mile at threshold, 90-second rest. This will be a really light, just like tune in, keep the legs a little sharp. Not really sharp for marathon, but yeah, just keeping some pop and some workout. Not totally go to sleep. Make sure it's not like a shock knock or something. Hard for a long time. Yeah, I think aerobics is done. It's pretty well developed. I just think I really need to carb load to just, hyperhydrate and really pay close attention to the body. 5 days. We got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then it's rest day. So I'm like nervous and hot thinking about it actually. So. Minneapolis on Thursday, on Wednesday. I think we got into Minneapolis on Tuesday, and we had Wednesday to relax, and Thursday to spend the day in Minneapolis, and then leave in the evening. Yeah, in Minneapolis, I was able to get most of my carb loading done. We went to a delicious, breakfast at this place called Modern Times. I drank a bunch of Mexican Coke, and yeah, we just really tried to relax in the sun. I was off work for that week, so yeah, doing my best to really take my mind off things, really trying to relax the body and the mind sort of before this big effort. The sort of Friday before, there's a 5K going on, went out there, took some photos, took some video. You'll see that here. Great work. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. It's gonna go right. Yeah, the sort of Friday before, there's a 5K going on, so I went out there, took some photos, took some video. You'll see that here. Yeah, it was a really beautiful day. 50s and in the low 60s, and some cloud coverage. So yeah, went on a little shakeout. I did just 4 15-20-second strides, and then continued to carb load. Although I think I could tell by that time that I had already eaten enough, because my appetite was pretty minimal the whole day. That tends to happen to me at the end of a carb load, but it's worth repeating here because yeah, the next day all that fuel might not have been sort of settled before shutdown. So then, okay, that morning we have lunch, and then we head back to the hotel, and we just I watch. Tomorrow's gonna be a really interesting day. So, tomorrow we are running Grandma's Marathon. I'm really excited to give it my best shot. It's going to be really hot tomorrow. It's going to be approximately 70 degrees when we start around 8 a.m. And that means I will be hotter than normal, faster than normal, for longer than normal. And there's, I think, a lot that I've done to try to prepare. Nothing really that I can change about the circumstances. There's nothing that I can change about the weather. So I am really here to give it my best shot. I feel like I've carb loaded well. I feel like I've trained well. The last couple weeks I've been on vacation and traveling, so that's positive because I've been on vacation and able to, sleep in longer and, have less stressful days. But that also means that I'm, not in my regular routine, not in my regular pattern. So I'm really interested to see how tomorrow goes from just like a, where's my body at, like physiologically over that marathon distance, and where's my mind at? That's really like what it comes down to is, when you get 13, 16, 20, 24 miles in, there's no one there to save you. You're the one that is working, you're the only one on the clock. So, you got to give it your best shot. I think the overall plan tomorrow, got to continue to carb load, got to continue to, stay appropriately relaxed and appropriately fueled, and then, we're gonna, get up, ass crack it on tomorrow morning, and try to get to the start line as sort of like easily as possible. We'll probably do like a mile jog to warm up, just to make mile and a half, some strides just to warm up. Nothing more than like 10 or 15 minutes, and then we're just gonna try to settle into a pace really early with a pack really early, hoping for around that 5:50 pace, around that 5:50 effort. A little bit slower than tempo, and it'll be what it'll be. It's relying and trusting upon yourself. It's putting yourself to the grindstone and asking yourself the question, like, who am I? Asking yourself, the question about, what more can you give? What, creativity do you possess in this moment? So, we're getting ready to roll. Let's do it. We are staying, we are staying at the Econo Lodge near Miller Hall. So we're right by the Holiday Express, and here is our beautiful, beautiful room, our beautiful, beautiful place. All right, here we go. Sister and Maddie are in here, so I'm not gonna subject them to the camera, but Okay, race morning. We got up, ass crack it on, 4:30. Tried to get some food in, tried to get some water in. In Two Harbors, we got the notification or the announcement that the race would be delayed 30 minutes. We hadn't seen the email at like 3:30 in the morning. I didn't check my email in the morning. That was probably an error. So we were sitting out there for a while. I did about a mile warm up after, just hanging out for a little bit, sort of twiddling my thumbs. So funny, there's not a lot to say before a race. I find that I'm really focused at the task at hand, and so it's sometimes hard for me to do the small talk and do the socializing of the day before. But I was, I had a great time. I met Floberg, Eric Floberg, who is a runner and storyteller and creator out of Chicago area. So it was really nice to meet him, and I've watched all of his videos, of course. yeah, that was special. And then these big fucking jets, came over the top, which was beautiful. And we started. So it was probably around 70 degrees, 100% humidity. It was warmer in the corrals, we're all bunched up, we're all sort of heart rates are rising as we're getting towards the start. And once we start running and you got a little bit of that breeze, helped to cool folks off. But yeah, within 5-6 miles, I was like, whoa, it's very warm. I was on pace, feeling good. Obviously, it's super easy to be on pace through 6 miles. But yeah, I felt like I had to use the bathroom, not terribly bad, but yeah, around mile 9, I was like, you know what, I'll just pull over, do this. My porta potty stop lasted a whole 44 seconds, so I was pretty, proud of that. But that was sort of the beginning of the end. I think once I did that, and I still tried to take in my gels and take in water, and I think continuing to take in water, it's yeah, I'd have this sensation where I tried to take in water and it would just my tummy would reject it from here, and so I would just dry heave, and it would pass. Not fun. That happened around mile 13, and then again at mile 21 and 25. Mile 25 one, I was like, oh yeah, I'm for sure gonna vomit. This is there's nothing holding this down. It's right there. There are a couple things that go on when there's GI issues. For me, it's half mentally, it sort of takes me out of the competitive aspect and into the survival aspect. It's how can I do this without just shitting my pants in public? That's a valid sort of concern, or vomiting. I just don't. I want to get to the finish line as quickly as possible. And so after those incidents, it's you try to get back on pace, but I think mentally I might have checked out a little bit by being oh, I need to make sure that I can continue to run and that I'm not just doubled over with GI distress. So maybe that took me out of my competitive mind a little bit, or sort of that ability to reach into the well and squeeze yourself sort of from the inside out. That being said, I felt I was running really hard. I felt I was running just as quickly as I could. I was pushing 550s through 10 miles, and then around mile I want to say 16, I was sort of started to fall off the pace, and that basically continued. It was a little demoralizing, I think, initially, but I was able to come into downtown, finish, and try to get my body temp, my core body temp down, and some electric